The imperative mood in Italian gives commands, advice, instructions, orders, and invitations by telling someone to do or not to do something. While English keeps the mood very simple by using the forms of infinitives, Italian has a different system. The true imperative only applies to certain pronouns. Tu, lei, noi, and voi. And in this video, we'll see the forms of each one. Let's begin with the pronoun tu and regular verbs that end in are. Here, we use the present indicative conjugation of the tu pronoun, so their formation is quite simple, as we can see with the verbs parlare, mangiare, studiare. The imperative takes the present indicative of tu and puts an exclamation mark for emphasis. Parla, mangia, studia. For regular ere and ire verbs, this is where we consider the present subjunctive conjugation of the tu pronoun. And even though this topic is for the next video, we can show the imperative formation here and later understand how it also works in the mood. Verbs like prendere, leggere, dormire, and sentire have the following imperative forms. Prendi, leggi, dormi, senti. At the same time, we can see irregular imperatives in the tu pronoun that are very common in speech. Of course, knowing all irregular forms is impossible, so it's best to learn the most common ones like si, abbi, va, vai, da, dai, fa, fai, sta, stai, di. While some imperatives have two forms, the short ones are more common. Now, we can see the imperative of the noi pronoun, which is equivalent to saying let's in English. Here, we have to use the present subjunctive of noi, but again, the mood will be shown more in the next video. For now, we can just see the form. Parliamo, let's speak. Andiamo, let's go. Mangiamo, let's eat. Now, let's see the imperative of the voi pronoun. This formation is the same as the present indicative of voi, which applies to you all being plural. Parlate, dormite, prendete. At last, we have to consider commands of the pronoun lei, meaning you formal. Here, we again have to use the present subjunctive of lei. Parli, mangi, dorma, prenda. By saying this imperative, Italian speech becomes very polite. After learning the imperatives of all pronouns, it's important to understand what happens when a command becomes negative. While some change form, others stay the same. For instance, to make a negative command with the pronoun tu, all we do is use non plus an infinitive, like saying non mangiare, non parlare, non dormire. It's not non mangia, it's non mangiare. While this form changes, the other pronouns lei, noi, and voi do not change, so we simply put non before the verb. Non parli, non andiamo, non parlate. After learning negative commands, we also have to see how object pronouns are affected. With affirmative commands, pronouns are attached to the end of the verb, which I will show later, but with negative commands, they go before, like saying non mi dire, non ti alzare, non lo comprare. Still, when it comes to reflexive verbs, they work like pronouns, so they attach when positive and come before when negative, like in the following phrases. Alzati, siediti, vestiti, divertiti. Because Italian is very expressive, the use of the imperative matters in speech because it is culturally important and made not to sound rude. Even so, it's common to use it for invitations, advice, and instructions. Vieni. Entrate. Sediamoci. Studia di più. Mescola bene. The last thing to note is the use of double object pronouns in the mood, such as saying, give it to me, which in Italian has an interesting formation. When combining double pronouns, it's common for indirect pronouns to come before direct ones. To recap the concept, we can remind ourselves of what they look like. Mi, ti, li, le, ci, vi, lo, la, li, le. Still, the order of the words matters, because some indirect pronouns will change form to me, te, che, ve when placed before lo, la, li, le. Another reminder should be that the use of li with direct pronouns fuses the words together. Lielo, liela, lieli, liele. So, when double pronouns are attached to an imperative command, they stick to the end. With affirmative commands, double pronouns attach to the verb. Dammelo, mandacelo, dimmelo. As a note, when attaching pronouns to short imperatives like fa, da, di, va, the to imperative doubles the consonant. Dammi, fammi, dimmi, vacci. As I showed, it's possible to stack them. Dammelo, fammela vedere, dimmelo. Regarding negative commands with pronouns, they will go before the verb. Non me lo dire, non glielo dare, non ce lo portare. With reflexive verbs, the logic is the same. Siediti, non ti sedere, mettitelo. Considering all of this information, it's nice to see some examples that can be used in real speech, especially with double pronouns. Passamelo, prestamelo, spiegamelo, portaceli, ridammelo. Overall, this is how the imperative mood fully works in Italian.